Sup flappers, welcome back to another video, and today, as you guys can see, we're back at our OG spot with our OG host, Mr. Zhongli. Now, the topic of this video is going to be double banners. Is this a good thing? Now, comment below and share your thoughts, because I do think, as always, there are multiple sides to this answer. Let's start with the obvious one, and that being, of course it's good. I get to see my waifus and husbandos quicker, which allows me to get more units faster, and ultimately allows me to bolster my team comps and become the best that ever was. Oh wait, that's the wrong game, but it's true that with double banners, and if miHoYo decides to run them more often going forward, units will become more accessible and faster to collect. However, at the same time, this poses another issue. So prior to the Genshin 2.3 livestream, I wondered and also thought out loud, how was miHoYo going to tackle the issue being that people who wanted Albedo lacked incentive to pull him, which ultimately resulted in his original banner being very lackluster, and I think to date is still the worst sales banner. Now, this was answered in a couple of ways during the live stream, but this double banner is one of the solutions miHoYo proposed to solve the lack of interest for the Albedo banner. You can summon for Albedo at first, but if you change your mind, you can immediately transfer over to Eula. If once again, you change your mind, Albedo is just 2 clicks away. Now, this system offers choice, and that should be seen as a good thing. So what's the point of this video, Walrus? Isn't it done and dusted then? All praise miHoYo and you get your bank manager on speed dial again in preparation for patch 2.3? Well, if this is your first time on my videos, then congrats. How you ended up here is nothing short of a miracle. In celebration of that, please include in your comments if this is your first time on my videos, of course. All right, so let's explore a little further. I would be lying to you if I said that I was not at least somewhat skeptical of this new system when I first saw it, as I'm sure some people were as well. miHoYo has shown that they like money. I mean, if you look at some of their quote-unquote events where they ask you to recruit people to play their game, they are one company stock offer away from essentially turning into a pyramid, right? So trust me, listen, all right? Things don't happen spontaneously. This was not something miHoYo decided recently. And if you do think that, well, miHoYo just on the spot decided, you know what, let's throw in Eula in here, right? That's real optimistic of you, because this likely had months of thought behind it. Of course, with the story being tied in as well, it's on pace, let's say, with what miHoYo is currently planning, most likely. Now, of course, I am only speculating here, so even if I do end up getting all this stuff right, don't come hating and say I looked at leaks or something. But the question here is, do you think it's a coincidence that Eula and Albedo were slapped together? Now, to answer this, we have to quickly break down character desirability real quick. It's no secret that within the numerous limited 5 stars available to us, that some are just more desirable than other, be it aesthetic-wise or for actual combat reasons. Not all units are built the same in the world of Genshin Impact. Essentially, not built the same by miHoYo. For example, people want Zhongli more than they want Klee, right? That's just an observation, and I'm willing to bet money on the fact that that is going to be true. Now, what that ends up being is essentially it makes Zhongli a more desirable unit. Now, if we put that into miHoYo terms, is Zhongli equals more money than Klee. With that out of the way, let's separate the tiers as being, let's say, highly desirable, which, you know, in this tier you have your Zhonglis, your Ventis, your Kazuhas, right, your Ganyus and whatnot. Then we have the somewhat desirable units. So here you have your Klees, your Eulas, your Zhaos, your Hu Taos most likely. Finally, we have the not so desirable units, which includes your Albedos and your Mr. 3 times 3P, right? Mr. Tartaglia, Mr. Worldwide. Now, these are based on their banner sales, which is the only realistic way miHoYo can gauge their desirability from the player base. And this is a prime example of talking with your money. And let me tell you, miHoYo is a fluent speaker of money. So knowing Albedo is not so desirable. Only idiots would make the same mistake twice, and let me tell you, miHoYo is surely no idiots. That is up for debate, but for the sake of this argument, let's just say they're not idiots. Hence, evidently, miHoYo paired Albedo with a somewhat desirable unit in Eula. Now, another question for the clever viewers: why Eula, right? Why a somewhat desirable unit and not a highly desirable unit if they wanted to pull sales? Once again, include your answers down in the comments. The answer is simple, right? If you had Zhongli on this banner with Albedo, this won't even be a double banner anymore. I hope that made sense, because ultimately, to balance the sales sheet, miHoYo could have only selected from the somewhat desirable units to buff this rerun banner a bit. Now, going forward, is it likely that the double banners will stick around? That's a good question. And to that, I say, of course. There is a new pity system implemented with this new double banners, right? And miHoYo isn't so generous as to devoting a white-collar work staff to a grueling coding session without milking their results for years to come. The question is not if the multi-banner will continue existing, but rather how will miHoYo use it to leverage more FOMO. Now that I have introduced to you all the idea of character desirability, how do you think miHoYo will pair future units? Let me put it blatantly: Ganyu and Xiao on one half, then Yaimiko on the other. Make your choice. Now, always remember, my goal here is to provide new viewpoints to a current issue. My goal is never to dissuade you or to dishearten you from either enjoying Genshin Impact or feeling grateful for what we currently have and what we will likely have in the future. The thing is, miHoYo is a company, and people oftentimes have questions and concerns about a lot of the additions to the game that miHoYo has. But at the same time, while it benefits most people in the game, it also really benefits miHoYo. And of course, it's in miHoYo's best interest to create these win-win situations for the community, so that going forward, we will continue supporting their game with monetary investments. And if you really want to play this corporate game with miHoYo while protecting yourself, you always have to start by understanding the system, understanding the rules that are laid, the unspoken ones, the spoken ones, and you play around that, and you play within your means. All right, people? It's easy for miHoYo to twist our little arms going forward with the data, knowing where it hurts the most. Like I always say, there are always more than one solution to these questions, and that's what makes them interesting to explore. But I'm afraid that this is where I will take this subject. Any further, I'm gonna have miHoYo kicking down my door and subjecting me to grueling hours of low-tier Genshin memes. And I really have to prioritize my sanity over, prolonging this discussion any further. However, if you do enjoy this kind of discussion, like, subscribe, and continue engaging in the comments below, or you can join my Discord. With that said, I always love discussing stuff with you guys live as well, so tune into my live stream that happens here on YouTube Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. With that said, people, I'm going to be heading out. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and peace.